Okay, so this is the Wmm1, which is a wireless meter monitoring unit. It's a compact design. It has a display here, two-line display. It's going to show you all the analog inputs, analog output, and digital inputs, digital outputs. This unit has 3 digital inputs, 3 digital outputs, 4 analog inputs, and 1 analog output. On top of that, you can have also an RTD, which is a temperature probe, and PT100 type, and you can measure temperature using that type of sensors. It has here, it's a ultra low power unit, so it only requires this type of solar panel, which is here on top of it, but you can put it anywhere you want, but it's good enough here. And this is a 3G antenna. It has a satellite antenna here, and it also has 3 GPS antenna, so it has all that inputs. And we have the ultra low power module, which gives you about 4 microamperes of current drawn during standby mode, sleep mode. It has dual SIM cards, SIM 1 and SIM 2, and the way it works, it's if you have a SIM 1 with one service provider, and then you have a SIM card 2 with another service provider, if one of those, if the main one, let's say SIM 1, fails because of the provider shuts down or whatever problem they have, then it's going to make certain tries. That's configurable, how many tries you make on SIM 1. If it's not successful, then it changes to the SIM 2, and then it tries there, and it's going to do the same amount of retries. And once it works here, it's going to stay there until the next report, which is going to see if the SIM 1, which is the main one, is installed or not. If not, then it switches back to the SIM 2. Okay? But if those two fail for any reason, or if you only have SIM 1 and no SIM 2, and the SIM 1 fails, then it's going to see that there is no SIM card on the SIM 2 and goes to satellite, if you have the satellite module here. If you do have that, and you have it enabled, and you have the service contracted with Witech, then if these two fails, it's going to send via satellite. You can configure the unit to use only satellite if you have only satellite. Also, you can configure it just to use the 3G, and it's never going to try to do satellite if you don't have it. So that's mainly the way it works. Right now, for this setup, we have a test box here. Not every option it's wired in, but you have all the analog inputs, outputs, digitals, RTD, RS-232, and you have also USB for communications with the host computer for programming. And but you also have an RS-232 here, and you also have an RS-485 if you need to connect to a Modbus flow meter or any device that you want to read some Modbus registers. You can have up to 15 Modbus registers. You can have 1 or 15, all 15 of them, and you configure the unit to read either 1 or all the 15 Modbus registers. And all that information is sent by 3G network or satellite. The way it works, you can configure the unit to report, let's say, every hour, or every 2 hours, every 6 hours, every 12, 24 hours report. In the meantime, it is counting pulses If you have a meter with a high frequency or low frequency, whatever it is, you're going to be able to store that information here, store the volume count, the total volume, or the index volume, or total volume, however you call it, and counts all those pulses, barrels, cubic meters, whatever, and store that information even in sleep mode. It only draws 4 microamperes, but it is still storing all the pulses coming in. It's not measuring any analog inputs during the sleep mode, the sleep time, okay? But it's reading the pulses. That something is being done even on a sleep mode. And so you set up the unit to report, let's say, every 2 hours. If you can set it up to report every 2 hours, but there are 2 conditions that you can have there. One condition is how often you want the reports if the pump is on, and how often you want if the pump is off. If the pump is on, you can set it up, let's say, every 1 hour. But if the pump is off, then you don't want, to spend energy here, and you want to save it, and also the data plan, it's going to be lower in cost, and because you already know that the pump is off, and so the total counter, it's going to be the same on every report. So you set up a different report when the pump is off, and a different one when the pump is on. But still, you can have the same frequency, report frequency, on both situations, just in case, let's say, you're monitoring a pressure or voltage or whatever you want to measure, even if the pump is off. So you still can have the same frequency either with pump on or pump off. Okay, once if it's every 2 hours, as an example, then all the information the unit has is going to be sent every 2 hours, which is 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and back to 12. And it's going to send all the information. But in case, let's say you have every 2 hours a report, but if the pump comes on at any moment, it doesn't matter if it's 135 or it's in between the reports, it's going to report right away. I mean, if the pump goes on, it is going to report every 2 hours, and it's going to report you once the pump is on, to let you know that the pump came on. Also when the pump goes off. Once the pump goes off, it's going to report no matter what. I mean, in real time, it's going to send you the information that the pump went off. There are more configuration that can be done with the unit, and we're going to go through that using the device manager, which is the software to configure the unit. Besides that, okay, now the information sent by this unit, you can see it on a computer using a web browser, and you see all the historical information. You make reports, you can have emails sent with all the information that you want, and also you can use an iPad or an iPhone, and you're going to be able to see all the information there. That's, let's say, the full data, and you see here what's going on. Historically, you can make trending graphics if you want. We'll go with that later. And also remotely, you can turn on or off pumps or valves, turn on either on or off, or you can also do it in percentage. I mean, you can open a valve 50%, 30%, 10%, whatever you want, remotely. That is, you go to the PC application, the web browser, and you set it up. So remember this is asleep during every 2 hours, okay, if you have it reporting every 2 hours. So if you want to turn the pump on the next time, so you set up that information on the computer, and you tell it to turn the pump on. So the next time it reports, it makes a report, it's going to get that information that you sent through the website, and it's going to turn the pump on or pump off or analog output or anything that you want to change on the unit. You want to change anything, you're going to be able to do that from the web service. And also something else on the website or on the iPad or iPhone, you're going to get the GPS location right what it is, and you can configure how often you want the GPS to update information. You know, we're trying to save energy here, so this unit is going to be there for 2 weeks, so there's no need for you to update every hour the GPS location. So you set it up for every 24 hours, and that's the longest. So it's only going to update once a day. I think that's all functionality that you're going to have with the unit, and we're going to show you how to do everything.